Well, we could talk about Barbie the movie, but I haven't seen it, so we have to talk about Barbie the song. Let's talk song. This video is an analysis of Billie Eilish's What Was I Made For? A song that I listened to for the first time and thought, this is a nice song, but unfortunately it doesn't offer too much to analyze because it's very simple. And the more I heard it, the more I was in love with this bittersweet simplicity within the song. And the more I listened to it, the more I thought, well, why not do a Let's Talk Song video on a very simple song and explain why this very simple song works so perfectly well. So as always, we are going to look a little bit at the chord progression, after that at some of the feature elements of the melody, and then of course a little lyric analysis. So let's get going. I used to float, now I just fall down. I used to know, but I'm not sure now what I was made for. What was I made for? Taking a drive, I was an ideal, looked so alive. Turns out I'm not real, something you paid for. What was I made for? Cause I don't know how to feel, but I wanna try. I don't know how to feel, but someday I might. Someday I might. Do-do-do-do, 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 do-do-do-do. When did it end? All the enjoyment, I'm sad again. But don't tell my boyfriend, it's not what he's made for. What was I made for? Cause I don't know how to feel, but I wanna try. I don't know how to feel, but someday I might. Someday I might. Think I forgot how to be happy, something I'm not, but something I can be, something I'll wait for, something I made for. Something I made for. The basic chord progression is very, very simple because it's basically a 3-chord progression, and it goes like this. C, E minor, and F, I think F major 7. So what we have here, we are clearly in the key of C. We have the 1, the 3 minor, and the 4. And this repeats almost throughout the whole song, even in the chorus. In the verse, We always have 3 chord progressions like this. I used to float, now I just fall down. I used to know, but I'm not sure now. What was I made for? What I was made for. And the 4th time around, we reharm the C major chord. What was I made for? Suddenly we have got A minor, so 6 minor, and back to E minor and F. So we have got this one little reharm trick that makes the song bittersweet right away in verse number 1. We have 1, 3 minor, 4 3 times, and then we replace the 1 with a 6 minor chord. After verse number 1, there is verse number 2, and there is one really interesting way to go from verse number 2 into the chorus, which is this. 6 minor, 3 minor, 4, and over 3 minor we enter the first chord of the chorus, which is the D minor 7 chord. So from F, we go over E minor to D minor, that is the first chorus chord. Now the chorus chords are quite interesting because we've got 2 minor, D minor, followed by 5, probably even G7 in the voicing. So a very classic 2 minor 5 jazz progression that then resolves to the 1. And from this 1 we continue the chord progression that we know from the verse. So the 1, 3 minor 4 thingy. 'Cause I don't know how to feel. And this 1, 3 minor 4 repeats quite a bit in the chorus as well. And at the end of the chorus, we have the same thing that we had at the end of the verse. Our reharm technique, 6 minor for 1, that is this A minor, E minor, and F. In terms of chords, this is basically everything there is to say. Maybe one more thing that is quite interesting. The song ends on the 5 of this 2 minor 5 progression. So the last bit of the song wants to go into the chorus but doesn't. Think I forgot how to be happy. Something I'm not, but something I can be. Something I'll wait for. And we're all waiting for the end. Something I made for. Then we go over this 3 minor to this, but we don't sing. This I don't know how to feel, but this time it's something something I'm made for. Ending on this 5 chord, leaving the song perfectly unresolved and adding to this bittersweet overall mood. The next very, very simple but very beautiful element of the song is the melody. Let's look at the verse melody. Verse melody goes like this. B, C, E, G. So it's basically an arpeggiated C major chord, which is also what the chord behind it is. B, C, E, G. And that defines the main motif that then gets changed a little bit. So those 2 ideas always switch positions. Repeat. Enter the second half of the verse. D, E, F, F, E. And then a variation of that one. D, E, G, F, E. This is basically everything there is in the verse. Very, very simple, very, very chord related in terms of melody, but very, very powerful. Plus this motif, B, C, E, G, I don't know where I know it from. I believe this is a new invention. Usually when you hear the beginning of a motif, you say, well, I know that from this and that song and they took it and they messed with it. But I don't know anything like it. Maybe you do know a song that starts like this or that has got this element. I don't know any. What's also quite interesting is that the melody is always before the chorus. So we have got I used to float and then the chord progression starts. So everything is first melody, then chords. Quite interesting. Let's look at the chorus melody now. The rock solid notes of the chorus melody are the following. A, 'cause this is the 5 of the 2 minor chord that's playing. Then we go to this I, 3 of the 5 chord. I don't know how to feel. I don't see B, E, B, A. Melody chord relationship is the 1 of C major that plays there, then the 1 of E minor that plays there, going to the 3 of F major. And then, but I wanna try. And then that repeats. I don't know how to feel, but someday I might. And this, I think, changes every time around, so there is no clear melodic structure, but it's just an afterthought to the chorus. Someday I might. Which means that we can go to the lyrics right away, because simple chord progression, simple melody, and simple but very, very beautiful lyrics. Let's look at verse number 1 and find out the structure that gets established here. I used to float, now I just fall down. What a beautiful line. Also because it's very prosodic in that the line goes, now I just fall down, right? It's falling down in the melody. I used to know, but I'm not sure now. What we establish in verse number 1 is an A-B rhyming pattern. And then all the verses end with some variation of this what was I made for thingy. In verse number 1, it's what I was made for, followed by the question, what was I made for? The question is there all the time, but the line before gets changed just that tiny bit. Verse number 2 repeats the rhyming pattern, but is, in my opinion, the weakest in terms of craftsmanship because they do stresses a bit wrong. Taking a drive, I wasn't ideal, looked so alive, turns out I'm not real. So first of all, ideal and not real doesn't rhyme at all, plus you don't pronounce the correct words. So it should be ideal, and you can say not real if you want to emphasize this, but still it's not a very good rhyme, because what we've established in number 1 is this Baird rhyme. A thing that they do perfectly in verse number 3, my favorite verse. When did it end, all the enjoyment? I'm sad again, don't tell my boyfriend. So here we can see where this idea comes from, and those 2 lines, enjoyment and boyfriend, are actually supposed to rhyme, and in the other verses they didn't quite follow through with it. What's quite interesting is that enjoyment is probably not the first word that you would use to describe the feeling here. When did it end, all the enjoyment? It's obviously a choice that was made just because it rhymed with boyfriend. So here we can see that knowing a lot of different words for one emotion, in that case happiness, will help you because you will need more rhyming words. The last verse is, one could say, the most optimistic one, because it says, think I forgot how to be happy, now that ain't optimistic at all. Something I'm not, but something I can be in the future. Something I wait for, prosody, because we end on this 5 chord that of course builds suspense, and it's something that we wait for, the resolution in that case. And then it's for the first time something I'm made for. So the question, what was I made for, turns into the statement, something I'm made for. And no, it's not a 100% positive and optimistic ending. It's quite unresolved. It's literally unresolved in terms of music, but it's something that shows a little bit of optimism. Very, very nice writing all in all. The chorus is this, 'cause I don't know how to feel, but I want to try. I don't know how to feel, but someday I might, someday I might. It's very, very confused. It's very, very prosodic. It's repetition of lines. It's variation in terms of melody. And it's basically what the singer, in that case Billie Eilish, feels like and the emotion that she wants to convey. You don't know how to feel, that's why you don't have a lot of structure in the chorus. Quite interesting. I think this is everything there is to say about What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish and her brother Finneas. I think so. As always, if you like this, make sure to leave the thumbs up, to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. As of today, I am with 600 subscribers, which is super. Thank you very much. But if you want to be the 601st, the 610th, or maybe the 700th subscriber, feel free to press the button. Please don't unsubscribe. People do that apparently. Also, leave comments in which, of course, first of all, you tell me how you like this. Second of all, tell me if you know another song that's got that line, ba-da-dum-bum. I don't know any. And third of all, let me know which songs you would like me to analyze, maybe even songs that I don't know yet that I can make a reaction video to first. This is something that I want to try. I don't know how to feel, but I want to try. Plus, do a cover and analysis of this later. Now, it has, of course, to fit the margins that I set myself here. I trust you. I guess we've talked song. You can talk about Barbie the movie now.
Think I forgot how to be happy. Something I'm not.